Sometime in 2015, a team at Safaricom was tasked with creating an investment fund that would be in tune with the Kenyan market. Veronica Ogeto was leading that team, and they set out to answer a number of questions.
How can we create win-win partnerships that allow us to grow and drive innovation both in telco and non-telco? So for example, we need a fund that understands that tomorrow your office can be demolished because City Council came to your offices and demolished it. We need a fund that understands that sometimes weather can affect farmer output. And so if you have invested in a startup that works with farmers, it will affect your ability to have a return on investment.
400 startups applied for the first round of the Spark Venture Fund. Their applications were scrutinized by the team.
In identifying and selecting startups for the fund, the first thing we did was to develop a criteria. This criteria would allow us to know what startups fall within the investment fund portfolio or not. The second step we then did is put the relevant governance and structures in place. So this includes ensuring we have an investment committee that ensures that the startup meets the requirements from a fit perspective.
The Spark Venture funding mainly focuses on startups that are using technology to solve some of the biggest societal challenges.
The focus area for the Spark Fund is, in new growth areas for Safaricom. And the question, for us has always been, are we investing in companies that are leveraging technology within these new growth areas? An example being in agriculture, education, healthcare. What are some of the use cases we can actually, support within those verticals?
Not only does the fund provide a financial boost to startups, they also give coaching and guidance from the Safaricom commercial team. Safaricom
plays a significant role when we look at how we can support the technology ecosystem and entrepreneurs and startups. We are a Kenyan company first, so we ask ourselves, how can we leverage some of the assets we have as a business to accelerate and grow these tech startups in Kenya? And we do this in a couple of ways. So we not only give capital to the businesses, we ask ourselves, how can we leverage our partnership network as Safaricom to accelerate the growth of these startups? We also, internally form what we call a deal team, and this is a business unit, commercial business unit that will work with the startup to, take their product to market. An example is, Shupavu 291, which is a product we've done with Eneza in education, who are, one of our first portfolio companies, and it has, done quite well. I think they've had almost, 10 million students sign up for the service. So there's always a question of how do we then plug in the startup to work with our commercial teams and accelerate that growth. The impact post-investment from Spark Fund, has been astronomical. We started with a $1 million fund, which has gone on to grow to almost 5x over the last couple of years. And when you look at the portfolio companies, they're also doing quite well. And they've really grown. So cumulatively, I think since the investment from Spark Fund, they've gone on to raise more than $50 million. And if you look at, different spaces, within the tech sector in Kenya, you have companies such as Sendy, who are, one of the leading entities when it comes to logistics and fulfillment, not only in Kenya, but in the region. Then we have iProcure, who are doing quite well in the agriculture space.
Over the years, investing in different startups has taught the team some valuable lessons.
Think about venture capital, as Safaricom as a business, when we were setting this up in 2015, it was a very new space for us. So from our first investments, we learned a couple of things. Number one, the importance of having a follow-on investment strategy. And this, is very critical to support the startups as they continue to grow and evolve as businesses. And this was very pronounced during the COVID period, where a lot of companies were looking to the existing investors to continue, supporting them to grow. The second, I would say, lesson learned, which has been very critical for us, is just having the right mix of investors within these portfolio companies. This is critical because each investor brings their own, capabilities and strengths.
The growth shown by most of the companies that the Spark Venture Fund invested in has been tremendous. The team encourages more startups to apply.
We are very curious to, meet entrepreneurs who are solving meaningful problems within the society. So if you feel you are using technology to address, a gap or a problem, then this is a big opportunity for you to actually apply for the fund.
Startups who would like an investment through the Safaricom Spark Fund, I would say karibu sana. This is the home of innovation. We will help you. You will become a solid business. We will walk the journey with you. We will not only give you our technology and financial assets, we will give you access to our top talent who will be able to coach and walk the journey with you.